all need an answer to before.
All right, everybody. I'm going to fire up my Discord here, see if I can't find some news, and then we will we'll get rolling. No. Leave that there, and then we'll do this. Okay, let's fire up Bobby. Hey, what's going on, Bobby?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Hold on, let me turn your voice off on the other thing so I can hear you here.
This. I'm firing up my Discord right now to see what's going on here.
But you know how these days are. They're nice and relaxing, right? For me, at least for me, it's been a stressful one, but I feel good to be done with it. Done with the baseball part.
Yeah, baseball. I have to get used to how to sweat again. I'm pretty sure I'm getting killed, but I'm not. I can't guarantee it. I mean, I know I have some Texas stuff, but I can't. I just play too many lineups for me to even know what I'm doing, what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I have some Texas stuff, and then I'm looking at my Texas stuff. I'm like, ooh, those are the ones with Luis Castillo, and then I'm like, so I'll wait a couple more innings. Maybe things will look a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's a good point because it really is a weird sweat. Like what I did was I played I was in first place of the Monster on FanDuel.
Oh really?
For a while, but it was tough because I had a Yankees and Texas stack with it. So the Yankees, but I did have Gary Sanchez as the play, and he's 4% owned. And then I had Judge and Urshela and Jay Bruce, who all did basically nothing. But then all the guys from Texas are all 3% owned, and they're all killing it. And I had Bieber as my pitcher, who was also not very highly owned, and he had 12 Ks in 6 innings.
And basically, like every pitcher busted. Not everyone, but
yeah. But then I look back, and then all of a sudden I knew it would level out. So I'm hoping just to cash deep here is my best hope, probably, unless the Texas guys all probably at least one more home run.
So in the FanDuel, all I did in the FanDuel, I max entered the 4. That's what I did for FanDuel. I got some that's like in the top 100, but I don't even know how many minutes left, and you know what I mean.
It's tough to figure.
But this lineup has it's got our boys. It's got Buxton and Kepler.
That's it. That's all. That's where I went wrong, is not playing a little bit more of those guys.
They were a full 3% owned on FanDuel.
Yeah, seriously. Saying what's up to K9 Bronco in the chat.
You know where I screwed up. So this is another thing. I mean, again, I really was getting to some Pittsburgh in some of my stuff, but I said, I'm not playing it. I'm just not playing the Wind. I just X'd out the whole game. And then I even thought to myself, maybe I should at least leave that guy that Bobby liked from last year in my player pool. And then I just said, screw it. I sexed him out too. And I think he went off. He went off. That the guy with the 3 names.
Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Yes. Yeah.
I X'd out that game as well, and obviously it didn't. The truth is, it wasn't going to work as really a stack necessarily, but it's a weird game. It is a little bit different than what we've been used to. Although, and in a funny way, it's kind of more relaxing. I mean, I also, by the way, had Josh Donaldson in that lineup, and in one of my big lineups that was doing really well. So that was unfortunate because he got hurt early in the game. But it's just one of those days when, and I'm actually excited to play a little basketball slate. The problem is this is a very chalky slate, and I don't really have a whole lot to differentiate at the moment. So we're going to have to figure that one out. I would like
to say, by the way, that last night I basically had the greatest lineup of all time that just needed the chalk to hang on, and it just didn't. You remember that FanDuel monster?
I mean, not in as big of a tournament, but in the 44, which would have been, I think it was 100K for first in that one too. I ended up 20th. But I also won the side tournament on the side for 1,000.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is that monster ended up coming in 7th, and including 5% owned guys. I mention it only because that lineup was literally in the screen share in our live sweat for a full hour.
Oh man,
it didn't change. I didn't make any changes. I probably should have, but I just left it, and that's the one that smashed.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Now I will say, okay, so I say that for a reason. So I was going to wait to do some runs for a couple of minutes, But so I put this FanDuel thing up here. As you mentioned, I mean, there's two. There's a couple of, at least to me, like pretty easy spots, and there's could be one coming. Right? We don't even know yet about Westbrook. You know, the Westbrook Beal thing. They're saying Beal's a game time decision. Is that right?
Yeah, Beal's a game time decision,
Yeah.
which I'm okay with, just assuming that Westbrook isn't the play anyway. Like, it's okay to play him anyway. But we'll know, I guess, right? Well, let's see. We won't know.
Well, here's the
We'll know.
So here's the deal. So like what the locks, whatever. Irving, all the Kyrie, all that New Orleans stuff, and I mean and Hartenstein. I think you might not like him as much. I think Kawhi is kind of a lock tonight too.
Interesting.
With George out.
How many guys can you lock though? That's the only problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But look at this. I mean, like, not that you have to play this. But like you can play whoever you want, and you can even play like put Curry in here just because he's going to be low owned probably.
Right.
And what you want to talk about the New Orleans value first? I mean, what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do that because that's probably the most important thing. We got a couple questions I'm just going to try and get to real quick. So would it be optimal to play Alexander and Hart on FanDuel? Both are shooting guard. That's interesting. They moved Hart to shooting guard, and it's kind of unfortunate. It doesn't really make sense either because he's been playing more small forward. But so I think that you kind of have to play some version of these. Like, I don't know how to avoid it. I'm trying to pull up my ownership because I'm not playing on FanDuel because there was no tournament that I liked at all. Like, I didn't want to play a tournament with like 10 people. So I just skipped FanDuel. And I'm just double checking the shooting guard and seeing if there's any other pivots over there because I didn't really get to much else on DraftKings. I mean, you definitely should be in most lineups, if I was playing most lineups, I would have both of those guys.
Yeah, to answer your question, even though they both like say shooting guard, like Nickeil Alexander-Walker is really kind of like a point / shooting guard, and Josh Hart's more like a shooting guard / small forward. So I don't feel as though they're going to really take from each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think you play them. I think a better question is maybe, you know, can you play Nickeil Alexander-Walker and like Kira Lewis together? You know what I mean? Or can you play? Or what do you think about James Johnson? You know, for someone like him, and this is like my opinion, and you can tell me what you. I would kind of like him to start.
Me too.
Yeah, and if he's going to start, I'm just going to be playing him. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he's not going to start, I'm going to have to make a decision. But if he's starting, I mean, he's 3K starting. I'm going to play him. That's just the way it is.
I'm with you.
Would you play I don't know? Would you play Steven Adams?
I think he's fine.
Jackson Hayes.
Those guys are okay. I just don't know that we need it. Like, I mean, you know, that's just where I'm at with it. Let me move this over real quick.
And I personally don't feel like you have to run anything back in that game.
Yeah. You don't, for sure, but you could. And that's maybe a really interesting way to go about this is to try to find something we could.
I'll tell you who it is. So it's one of two guys, and I'm afraid to play them together because I think they might take from one another a little bit. Is Okiki and I don't. They may not give him enough minutes yet, but Wendell Carter Jr. is playing really, really well with the minutes they're giving him. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to really just roll him out. But those would be the two guys.
I like that point that he has been playing well, but I don't see any increase in anything. They're spreading everything around. But I think Okiki would be my favorite if I was going to run it back. But on New Orleans side, so the guys who I'm going to play, this is not updated at all.
Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit on it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I think sites are probably waiting to see if they can get some Beal clarification before they update anything, you know?
Right. But we should update New Orleans at least, right?
Well, I got one place that gave me something new. Let's see.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. So the guy who I would steer clear of is Awundu. Sure, it could happen. Yeah, you know what? Hey, little narrative is against his former team. This guy played 30 minutes a game and was getting like 6 fantasy points.
Pass. It's just a pass.
Yeah, it's not James Johnson who actually can do some things out there for you and sort of accidentally get there. I guess that Owundu could, but I would prefer James Johnson. Obviously, the starting thing does matter. I don't love the Jackson Hayes idea because I just think that there's going to be a few people who think of it, and while there might be some upside here, like, and it's, you know, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't feel necessary to me. I'm playing the guys who are going to be popular: Hart, Bledsoe, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Johnson, and that's where I'm starting my lineups. I will play some Kira Lewis instead. I would be open to Kira Lewis instead of Bledsoe. That would be a one thing to get a little different. But I don't really need that anywhere. Like, I can play the guys I want without that. And you like Kawhi, but then so the problem is also if you play all this, like Luke Kennard like has a huge path here to having a monster night.
I love him.
The problem is, how do you play all these guys? And at some point, you're questioning whether or not Hartenstein is the right thing to do. Okay,
well, that's something we could talk about.
Because he got the blowout run, which we know he'll get. He's gonna. I mean, we need to see. I mean, we don't have a starting lineup on there yet. I don't have it anyway. Wait, actually, we do. Sorry, wait. No, we don't. Oh, we do. No, Kevin Love's in. Hartenstein's out.
Okay.
Even though they're on a minutes limit, I'm just gonna say, why do I need it? I already have too much going on here. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely don't need any more value on this slate, personally.
Even center value?
No, just play Jokic. I don't want center value specifically.
Okay.
Like, I like Jokic. I actually think that Jokic is the best other play on the slate. This is the one thing that's been getting these guys. They've been blowing everybody out, and you're not going to have that happen with the Clips. And the problem with for me with Kawhi, I do like him. I just don't. I mean, if I don't have him as a must, but I think you can. You're playing him, Westbrook. If you play Westbrook and Jokic, then you really then maybe you can get into some extra dumpster diving, and that would probably be okay. But yeah, I mean, they're going to need this production. We know that Alexander Walker, Bledsoe have the best chance of providing most of it. Hart's going to play a bunch of minutes, and he'll probably get there through that. And he can do a million things on the court. And then James Johnson. And right now I've got like that, those guys with Westbrook, Kennard, and Jokic. And I don't see Jokic as being – the thing about Kawhi in these spots is I didn't realize, first of all, he wasn't going to be a little bit more popular. I thought he was going to be a little higher on sheets. What do you think he ends up?
Well, it depends on Westbrook.
Yeah.
I mean, if Beal's out, then Westbrook, is going to soak it all up. I mean,
that should make Jokic lower owned. I mean, we've been playing these studs at like 5% lately.
Yeah, that's true.
How great was your lineup? And by the way, I had like 30% Booker last night too. We both we nailed it a little bit. You know what I mean?
In the Monster on FanDuel, he was literally 0.5% owned.
In the big one on DraftKings, he was 0.23%.
Oh.
and
was basically my favorite Utah guys. Friggin' Conley was actually a little under-owned, and friggin' Bogdan was 5%.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there was some space on FanDuel to have a monster. At one point, I almost was like, I was going to text you overtime, let's go, but then I realized that's probably not great for you because I had tons. I had everybody. Actually, maybe it would have been.
Oh, I would have cleaned up.
You would have had to in the – oh, yeah, you would have been the monster for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You would have won the monster.
Oh my God, you were so right about what's his name.
Which one?
About Drummond. Oh my God, that was such a disaster.
I mean, he did get hurt too, but like,
BS, he was horrible the whole
I know it wasn't working. And you get Jokic, you get Vucevic at 2% owned at 8,800. It just seemed crazy.
And you know what? Lowry put on an incredible first half, and they let him close at the end too. I was very happy with him. And dude, when they announced he was starting, I'm like, this sucks. He's gonna be 20%, 1%. Because
wait, who is this?
Lowry Markkanen.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He was 1%, and the reason why again is we just kept putting it off, and everybody used other players, so that was it.
Right. Yeah, no, man, it was crazy. I mean, I really felt like it was like one of those where I felt like I was going to be coming back from the dead, and you were going to win the monster, and I could win the 44. It would have been really, really freaking sweet if we could have gotten.
I was going to win the monster even with an AD 8 points.
Oh man, you could have really frustrating. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was rooting for you. I was.
Dude, it's not a rooting. I was just really stoked with the way it all happened. With the way the ownership came out. That was it.
It shook out perfectly, and we. That's a good example of good strategy. Like that's what we talk about, right? Like we both had a line on something. Now the problem is I didn't play enough of it in my big ones, and it was funny because they had that 15. I had 15 entries in that $100 tournament. But I was thinking, had I just played 2 tournaments, I probably would have just gone with our theory of waiting for these. What if Levine and Kobe White sit? These guys are all good plays,
right?
And of course, that ended up being exactly what happened. So, anyway, a little frustrating, and but at the same time, it was still a good night for you, and I'm happy for that. But we got another question. What games are we targeting? I think that it's really the New Orleans side. I mean, game stacking is one thing, but team stacking is a real thing. Like that's the most important thing. And I think that's what we're doing. We're going to We're going to stack just the New Orleans side. I don't particularly love any run backs. I'm wondering if maybe it's a mistake not to play Lewis over, oddly enough, so Alexander Walker is going to be the most popular of them, right? So maybe, they're going to be close, he and Bledsoe, I guess, because the price difference. But if you play Kira Lewis instead of them, I think you're getting a little bit different. No, I mean, other people are going to do it too, but I like the Kira Lewis idea actually. What does that give you? What can you get extra if you do that instead of a Bledsoe or Nickeil Alexander-Walker? I'm
not playing. I'm like I said, I'm vetoing my optimizer with my Wesley window.
Yeah, I mean, look, he probably actually gets there.
That's not going to be enough, though.
It's not going to be enough for that price. I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys that
you
get there.
You need at least 20 from a 3K guy tonight.
Yep. Maybe even more. Boy, it leaves you in a very strange range if you do that. Should we? What about the other Clippers? You know what I mean? We talked about
Terrence Mann's basically the greatest player of all time right now.
I mean, seriously, he actually looks like it when he plays. But it was funny because I kind of speculated on what they might do, and they kind of did it. I mean, Reggie Jackson played a few more minutes and should technically be more productive on the court is more productive on the court per minute than Mann is. If Morris is out, Reggie Jackson is a way to get different, right? Nobody's going to play him, right? Yeah.
I think either of those. I think both those guys are good. Him and Kennard.
Yeah, and you can play them together too, especially if Morris is out.
And he's definitely shooting dependent, but so what? Kennard.
Yeah. Also buys you time if you play that. Yeah, so for the early games, the only thing I have any interest in right now is Westbrook. If there's
that's a big deal. I mean, a
huge thing. No, but I mean that's what it is. That's going to be this slate probably. It's really hard to fade Westbrook in these spots. It just feels like you're just creating problems for yourself,
I've tried it.
I know I've tried a little bit of it, but not that much of it. By the way, what about? I mean, if Beal was to play, he's not going to get owned by anybody.
If he's in, you mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to find one major move I can make because everything is going to be very, very chalky.
You know what you could do? You could play Curry and Butler together.
Curry and Butler together. Yeah, that's true.
I fiddled around with that on FanDuel. I couldn't quite make it work, but I didn't. But I'm going to try again.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't think a lot of people are going to do that.
I want to say one thing. Kyrie very well may get there. I think playing him is a mistake.
Why? Just talk me through that.
Because his upside is still. He's got a 70 fantasy point upside anyway. They don't need to run absolutely everything through him. He's actually been a point guard most of his life and is not a guy that has put up numbers that are going to break you at 9,800. And if you compare him versus, ownership wise versus even Kawhi right now, you're getting more than twice the ownership at a stronger position, and Kawhi actually and he's obviously more expensive. And Kawhi could get there I just don't see him as being that. I know that Harden being out obviously is a huge boost and his usage will be crazy, but I don't know. Something about it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what else to say. It's like there's all these options, and we're gonna play. If I'm gonna play everybody else chalky, he's the one I feel the most comfortable fading by far.
It's very interesting.
His style
if you can get away with that, I mean, then you're a freaking hero. I mean,
well, part of his thing is that he's not a huge he will get assists. Don't get me wrong, but in general, I mean, he'll have like a weird outlier game of assists, but a lot of it's through scoring. What he does, and I think that's what I've got to do. I think you got to fade Kyrie. I like the idea of playing either Steph, Trey, or what's his name over.
So I got some funny guys you could play. I'm talking about FanDuel. I'm gonna go to DraftKings because I had some some sort of funny ideas on FanDuel.
Bradley Beal is out, by the way.
Lovely.
So that I'm not fading Westbrook personally. Y'all can try and have fun with it, but I'm not going to do it.
Y'all have fun with that.
Yeah, good luck. It might work.
Because FanDuel, there are some tricks. I mean, like you could play a really cheap like Bogdan Bogdanovic at 4,200.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to play. He's coming to his own, man. I think he's back. You could play. Well, James Wiseman's going to be. You could play him anyway, but I guess there aren't that many tricks. But I like the Butler Curry thing. Oh, and then you could try. You could. Are they going to make a mistake and finally let Ben Simmons go off unowned the one time I don't play him, and then he's going to smash? You know what I mean? Like I'm very.
I thought about it, and the price is a little tough on DraftKings.
Let me look at DraftKings, and then I have to redo everything anyway because what's his name's out. But.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some updates. Guys, feel free to drop any questions in.
We have to deal with Jerome Robinson again, right?
What's that?
We have to deal with Jerome Robinson again too.
But do we though?
Oh, I think we do.
I think we do too. But I don't think you're playing him over Lewis.
I think you are.
I think that's wrong.
Okay.
I think that if you play them, you should play them together. I really think Kira Lewis has just an immense amount more upside potential and can play alongside the other guy.
I agree with you know what that I agree with. I definitely think he's got more upside. I think that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
You can fade both of them. You can play both of them and fade Alexander Walker, Hart, or
for sure
one of the other guys. You know, one of Bledsoe, Alexander Walker, and Hart. I would like to get. It would be nice to get Kawhi in there.
This is brutal. I'm just for fun. I'm like running some lineups, given my projections before Beal was ruled out, and I'm already getting like almost 100% Westbrook.
It's
not good. Yeah. Not good for the ownership.
7 million% owned.
Not good for the ownership.
I mean, so maybe okay. So that does make Kyrie a lower owned play now, which you could argue.
Yeah, it'll only be 50% instead of 80.
No, he can't be though, but because they can't. You can't.
Well, he's shooting guard now, right?
Well, you've got Lewis, Robinson, Bledsoe, Alexander Walker, and that's a lot of guys. And then Hart's a shooting guard on FanDuel. Kendrick Nunn is likely to play.
Okay.
What is Jimmy Butler's price right now on DraftKings? $9K. Okay. And that's an interesting thing to do right there.
I think I'm going to be under on Westbrook. I think I'm going to have 60%. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. No, that's cool. I mean, I'm obviously going to play him.
What's the difference?
Kawhi's another one that while he does better, it's not like he's smashed without. We've had this situation come up a number of times. Where do you see his 50s?
Who?
Kawhi. Where is 50 fantasy point games without Paul George lately? Where
I get it.
And you now have a tougher matchup, but actually that might benefit him a little bit.
Yeah, Windu is. I'm going to pass.
I might pass on James Johnson.
I don't think that passing on James was that going to kill. Yeah, it could. I mean, he could get 40.
Yeah, it's possible. And he's actually at the weakest of the positions from a value standpoint.
You think Marcus Morris sits?
My guess would be based on.
No, we don't know.
He was in the late scratch last time. I'm guessing he probably actually does get in there. I mean, this is the team that beat them, and like, shouldn't they be throwing their guys out there to play? Like, this is the team that beat them in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. It seems like, and he's that kind of a guy.
Maybe, and do we have to play? We have to look at the Denny Avdia again. Or? I hope not.
No, we don't have to for sure. I really like this idea of going Kyra Lewis here. I think what I'm going to do is play Kyra Lewis and potentially Robinson too. No, you know what? Neto's in, so I'm not going to do that. I just think
Neto's in. You don't necessarily have to play Jerome Robinson.
Exactly right. All right, let's see what else there is in here because this is a really weird slate. I'm kind of glad I'm only playing like a little bit much.
Are you going to play the late baseball slate?
Yeah.
Okay. You have anything for me there? I mean, would you like anything?
I haven't looked at the ownerships yet, but I can go through my lineups real quick. Let me just I've got to go back to that. Yeah, I've got I prefer. I'm gonna. Let me just actually go see the.
I literally haven't even looked at the games yet.
I built it by hand. It's a small slate, so it's a little bit frustrating because we would have. I don't know if it would have actually had the Mets game or not. I don't know. I guess it wouldn't have because it wasn't on the schedule. DSJ and Wayne Ellington are playing tonight. For those of you who are going to play anybody from Detroit, boy, DSJ would be the deepest. What if he ended up starting? Nah, you're not gonna. It's just thinking out loud.
When you said DSJ is eligible, is that what you said?
Yeah, he and Wayne Ellington are expected to play. So let's see where we're at ownership-wise with the baseball slate. All right. So I wanted to stack of all the teams that I liked the best. The Astros made the most sense to me. I'm guessing I'm not going to be completely off the board there, which I'm not. And it's pretty easy to get whatever you want in. So Astros, I don't mind like an angel batter too, but I'm picking Bundy over Giolito, which I thought would be lower ownership, but now it's looking like is this DraftKings or it's DraftKings? Bundy and Gausman were the guys I was going to go with. And
those are our guys, man.
Those were our guys before they were day one starters.
They were your guys before they were my guys, and then they were our guys before they were anybody's guys.
I know, seriously, and now they're the opening day guys. Boy, it's hard to get different on this slate. I mean, these ownerships, I almost feel like they add up to too much. But if you're not going to do that, I think you stack the Mariners. If you're not going to play Gausman,
okay,
that's probably your best leverage on the field because of the ownership for the late games. And I think the A's will be a little bit under-owned too. Matt Olson, I can tell you right now, was the first guy I put in my lineup.
Back to Matt Olson. That's right. I forgot about him. We used to play him every freaking game last year.
Yeah, I'll take the power upside at an extremely high price with guys like Trout on the slate and all that. So we got Trout, and then you've got all the expensive Houston stuff with Bregman, who I'm playing, and Altuve. So if you're going to play, if you want to throw Chapman in there, you can get a little different that way. I actually really like my lineup. You know what? I don't think I'm going to change it at all. I'm just going to take one quick look and see something. Buster Posey is going to be pretty popular.
Buster Posey, I'm you know what? I wasn't exactly ready for it, but I think I'm ready for baseball.
Yeah, let's go. All right.
I think I am.
All right. Hopefully we'll make some money while we're on this show because we are trying to figure out what it was. Oh, something good happened for me, but I don't know what it was.
What, in baseball? You had some winnings coming up or something?
No, I've got one. I've got one in this Grand Slam tournament. I'm in second place, but the secondary Grand Slam because one sold out.
Oh shit!
But I'm also in third place in that one with a different lineup.
Jesus.
And 14th. It was all the same stacks. It was all just different combinations of the Texas stack with Bieber. So it was working pretty good for a little bit. Let's see, will I win it? Maybe I'll win it. Who knows? That'll be nice. Oh, Donaldson's in two of those lineups. God damn, it's frustrating. Yeah, Soler, Gary Sanchez, Gallo, Kiner Falefa, Nate Lowe. All these guys have been just awesome.
Yeah, I got those guys. I have to check. I'm gonna check my baseballs in a minute. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, do it.
Why not?
I really like the baseball lineup I made. I don't really want to change it. I think I'm different enough, but not totally. guess I can do a pivot with Geo. And put in. Yeah, it just feels. I feel like the Astros run total seems like suspiciously low, doesn't it? Oh, sorry. It's a 4-run total, and it's not like Chris Bassett is the monster of all pitchers. I don't know. It's not. I don't. It doesn't quite make sense to me. Another pitcher. But yeah, Bundy and Gausman just made the most sense to me. If you pay all the way up at pitcher, what can you get? It just doesn't change things enough for me. I think the White Sox are the best. The White Sox, and the funny part is the White Sox and the Giants would be the stacks that I was on if I was playing like a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry, the White Sox and the Mariners, not the Giants. But the White Sox are going to be really popular as well, and they probably, because of Bundy's blow-ups ability, and also he's, this guy gave up 5 home runs consecutively to start a game one time.
Is that right?
Yeah. So if you play the White Sox, like play the bottom of the order if you stack it, because it's going to be really popular at the top. So like maybe you would do Luis Garcia, Luis Robert would be my favorite.
I forgot about him too.
Yeah. Let's see. Wonder how I am doing. Let's see. So then, one guy I love tonight. I'm just going to give this one away. I love these cheap Seattle bats because they're not going to be that owned anyway because you don't necessarily need all of it. But I'm in on Trammell in general, Taylor Trammell.
Is that the son?
No.
Oh.
Just a different one. But he's the one I would be into the most of all these guys. Let's see. In front of me, we go Abreu. And perfect. I know. Miles Straw, Fraley. Jake Fraley, who I know nothing about hardly. I know a little bit about him.
Wait, we know Jake Fraley a little bit, don't we?
And I know he is. Like, I just don't know. I'd be pressed to find out too much about him, to be honest with you. I don't know a lot about him.
Well, let me look at some of these baseball lineups I have. So I'm looking at DraftKings. So DraftKings I'm going to sort by points first. Let me see. I got no wonder. So that's not a lot of guys left. So it's just 115, but with 34 left. Is that good? Probably not, right?
It could be good. I mean, it's hard to know with baseball. You can get a bunch in one inning, and I think it's actually pretty decent. That's a lot of time left for how far they are into the games.
There's this thing. So it's Nola. Well, Nola and my 8 are done, right? So, okay, maybe I'll get another at-bat out of Real Muto. That'd be nice.
Yeah, there you go.
But then I got all this Texas stuff and Kansas City. Okay, so I got this game stack of Texas, Kansas City. So so this could still blow up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, okay. I only have to pass 2,914 people. We're in business.
Keith, are you surprised a little bit at how low owned that? I'm really surprised at how low owned that game came in. I really thought that entire game was going to be really popular. Well, not really.
Well, when Boston got ruled out, yeah.
Yeah, after Boston got ruled out. And it's almost like people were and I included myself. Like most of my lineups, you'll find Dodgers in and some Padres. But I definitely wanted to get the full-on stacks with those guys because there's definitely –
this one can't be that bad. So this is –
Ketel Marte went out.
Let's look at some of these. Oh, I got some of that, I think. So I guess I have a 186 with 20 and FanDuel with 22 innings left, and then a 174 with 31. Let's take a look at that one. Let's see what that is. Okay. That's got Alcantara. 2%. Here you go.
Yeah. Wait. Alcantara on FanDuel. Wow.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? I love it.
And I got what do I have? Oh, just got a couple. I got 4 Dodgers and the Cardinals. Okay, this was more of a get lucky with my one-offs thing.
You know who killed me was Kyle Hendricks, man. I've
got me too.
Right now with Kyle Hendricks in it, it's just a shame. Everybody else has double-digit points.
What about this one?
Pretty much, and it's got the Dodger protection. It's the Dodgers and the Texas KC bets. Sixers will start Simmons, Curry, Green, Harris, and Scott.
See, this is the thing, And he could still get there, obviously. But you got Tatis. These guys have a 30% hitter on a 100-person slate is so tough, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Or look at some of these others, like Will Myers at 27%. I mean, he's doing better, but forget the performance. That's just a lot of ownership for hitters.
Yeah, when you do that for me, like I've like that's why with most of my stacks, like on DraftKings, what I tried to do was I played Gavin Lux with when I played him with Chris Taylor, who not only would have been lower owned anyway, but also because they're both second base eligible and what's his name, Taylor's second base / outfield, that the odds of those two being in the same lineup correlated together. That's how I would do I was trying to do almost all my stacks.
The Dodgers could end up with 15 runs still.
No, absolutely. But I've got all the Dodgers. I mean, if they do, by the way, I think it's crazy about all this stuff is I think I'm still overweight on the Dodgers.
I think I am also, actually. I think I'm 60% Dodgers pretty much. That's why I was going to be like fading it by doing that.
Yeah. I did play Colorado too, and I seem to have gotten some of those guys okay. At least I could use a home run from David Dahl. That would really. I'm in 40th right now, 44th now actually in the.
In what in the
444.
Okay.
With all the guys from the Dodgers still remaining and the Texas KC game, and I have like I said, Diaz as my catcher who's from Colorado. But anyway, all right. So back to basketball. We should have some updated projections, guys. Again, if there's any questions, I know it's not the most exciting slate, and also please give us the like, the thumbs up. We really appreciate it. And this is not the easiest slate to get different on. I guess I'll just say I really am struggling with it, with the build of how I can even get a guy in single digits on my team and feel comfortable with it.
Dude, you want to see a 444 lineup? Look at this. So you see this? It's got David Dahl. It's got Mookie. It's got Nate Lowe, Caratini, Glass now.
How much you got?
You ready?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Who is it? Who's the other one? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Oops. That's it.
How much he was owned a lot, too, huh?
He sure was. Well, I figured I'd play these guys, then I'd play a bunch of these Texasers. Oh,
yeah.
I take the free money with the chalk pitchers, right?
Right.
And he couldn't get out of the first inning pretty much, Castillo.
Oh, man.
That's the way it goes. It's baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see if I can find any questions on here, because I'm pretty set with my stuff actually.
I think we're set because I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm playing.
I'm trying to find a differentiator.
Yeah. I'm also, I'm playing some Marcus Morris. So, we're gonna see what happens with him. Like if he gets ruled out, maybe I could do some stuff there. Yeah.
And let me see. New Orleans has more than 9 bodies, right? Am I missing something? I believe they have. Well, they're only showing 9. No, they've got more. What am I talking about? Probably just 9 in the middle play. Wundu, Kira Lewis.
I mean, if I have to, I could probably. It's probably if Marcus Morris gets ruled out, they're probably going to just start Batum in his place anyway.
Yeah, or you could just pay. You could just say, I would rather probably play Kennard and just leave money on the table. I think you could definitely leave money on the table on this slate. I think this is like the perfect slate to leave money on the table.
Wait, so Kennard is small forward. Marcus Morris is he small forward too? He is. That would have been a terrible mistake I would have just made. So I got to put James Johnson in the power forward. Okay.
It's not like Trey's going to be off the board. Like some of these guys have to be lower owned.
Trey is going to be. No one's going to have.
How about Bam?
Yeah, like guys like that. Exactly.
Maybe that's what I want to do. This is like we know what bigs can do against this team. I mean, Bam just put up 50 into the last 4, 50 plus. He could mash against this team.
Look at that caveman.
And we would need Robinson. The problem with Robinson is his minutes are not as secure. So I don't think that you want. I don't think.
So by the way, I guess I'll give everybody a little bit of a tease. So we're
Yeah,
we're like many steps closer to the website. I wouldn't say it's right on top of us, but let's put it this way: in the past week, done more than in the past year, I think.
Yep.
With respect to development, and we're gonna have a combination, I think, of videos, Bobby's articles, top plays. We're gonna work out some way for me to put these spreadsheets on that I've been kind of like flashing around and show you guys how to use those, and hopefully give you guys something that's a little different than and worth using.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Still got a few steps, but we're getting there, and I think that it's going to be pretty cool, and it's going to be easier. Guys will be able to have more interaction and talk about everything. I know I've got I owe Shark a coaching session, and we'll do those occasionally if you guys want to. Even we'll do a public one sometime.
Hey, the other thing you got to do for me,
yeah.
Bobby, you got to get your freaking guy to get his shit together. We need Sam Burns to get moving tomorrow.
Oh boy, don't get me started. You know what's really sick is that I have Burns like everywhere, but I like last minute got in a number of Hideki Spieth lineups together, and everybody else doing pretty well. So it's looking like I'm winning a bunch of money, and instead I've got Burns and I've got I think Sam Ryder too much.
Yeah, so we got to get him. That's. Yeah.
He can still get there. He can go low. He doesn't need to go.
It'll be +1 probably, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's my guess. Boy, I sort of like this Kira Lewis, and then pick one of the, and then maybe you play Lewis, and you can't play Lewis and Bledsoe in this one. It's funny that I'm finding a hard time fading Hart because he actually doesn't. It's not like they're going to run offense through him, but he just does enough other things in the court. But maybe that's the guy we need to fade.
Interesting.
I'm just trying to think about it. Like I'm trying to find some way to get different with this incredibly chalky build. I like the Bam idea though a lot. That's what I think I might end up doing. So
I actually have a little bit of extra time today. I'm not being called out, so if you want to hang out a couple minutes later, it's fine. I got nowhere. I have nothing to do.
I'm definitely here. Maybe you're right about this Curry being the Curry versus Kawhi for the path. I feel like Curry's path is actually like to explode is higher. I think he's got a better. I mean, it took 24 to 30 minutes.
I mean, it's a tough matchup, right?
I mean, ish.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter all that much. Not really. I mean, like their guards don't guard that well, except for Butler, and they're not going to put Butler on him.
Right.
Johnson was. So can you get away with only playing 3 New Orleans guys? I think so. I think that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's just I'm ending up with the ones I don't want as much, but that's okay. Let's see if I played. Oh, that might work. I do think Jerome Robinson is starting, by the way. They don't even make him small forward eligible anymore. Damn it. There goes that my whole plan.
Let's see this. Meanwhile, I'm literally the worst of all time. I probably shouldn't even say this on the air, but I'm going to anyway. So I pumped my fist when somebody hit a hole in one because I thought it was John Ha and it was a different Asian guy.
Oh, you probably shouldn't have said that one.
I know, really bad. Really bad.
Oh, man. That's really funny. Wow. So what do we? This is a really weird. I like this. I found a build I like, but it requires Kira Lewis. It takes away both Bledsoe and this is crazy. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I don't have either of them. I think that's a way you can get different, guys.
Is to not play who?
Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Bledsoe.
Yeah, that's rough business.
See.
But yeah, I mean, like, well, that's certainly get different. That is true.
The scoring. James Johnson hits a few threes. Josh Hart puts up 45 fantasy points, 20 and like
that is the path.
And then your other guy, my other guy, cheap guy Jerome Robinson gets 25 or 30 for me.
We're gonna play him after all that.
I think it's sketch, but I think that if I'm going to try and get different, It's a 7-game slate that plays like a 2-game slate. So it's just one to get different, in my opinion. And then I'll have one other lineup with both of them in it, and no Hart, Butler. And I would love to get Curry in. What if I just faded all the way? Nickeil Alexander-Walker, my favorite of the guys. I'm going to fade the guy who I actually think is the best, the least failed path, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But this is what you got to do to win on these kind of slates, because like the ownership that when I see a 550, I know in the 555 that these guys are going to be like 60, 70% on. This is not going to be a 30% owned situation.
I'm going to do one more just to see what's up with the Jerome Robinson thing. Just don't want to get jammed into too much. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get jammed into all the Jerome Robinson. But nobody says I have to do it. I mean,
no.
This is still America as far as I'm concerned.
So we don't need Johnson here. Hartenstein, I will play there. I play Curry and Butler together. I like that, though. Easier to get to Curry and Butler than it is to Kawhi and Jokic. All right, I'm going to take a look and see if there's any other questions last minute. There's nothing really going on for us.
I'm seriously, I'm just not going anywhere. I'm just chilling.
Yeah, cool. All right, top 2 center plays for FanDuel GPP. Sheets, I'm going to leave that one to you because I do not have a FanDuel lineup.
Wait, once more? What's he asking?
Top 2 FanDuel centers for GPPs.
Okay. Well, since you asked, let's see what my handy dandy thing comes up with, and we'll look at the ownership and see what up. I'll tell you. Wow. So as far as value, is he asking value or?
He just said top 2 centers, any of them.
Okay, so first of all, if you want to pay down. You know, Wiseman is really, really cheap at 4K, and I don't know how much he's going to get owned because I think people can afford to pay for Jokic now. The other guy who's looking to get some ownership is Capella. I thought he was going to be sneaky, but I guess not. So I would say Wiseman. You want to pivot off of all that? Maybe Dwight Howard. I would say. No. It's going to be either Jokic, Capella, or Wiseman. Those would be my.
I could see Howard being a good play.
Yeah, those would be my 3. Now the other thing I have to do is I have to look at. Yeah, I want to do one more run with the. What time is the Westbrook game? Is it 7 or 7:30?
7.
All right. 13 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we had a time crunch. No.
Yeah, it's not as usual today.
No big deal.
I sort of do like Morris, by the way, if he does play, and I kind of like what you said. You flip him either for Batum or you can flip him for
Kennard.
Dean Wade, not enough production for me. New Orleans.
I don't want to play for.
I lied. I'm going to play a Wundu in one lineup, but I'm stacking a game in that lineup, and it's not a very big buy-in.
What team is he on?
He's on New Orleans, but he's always been on Orlando. He really doesn't do anything, but there's nobody else like.
What's a window revenge?
Yeah, and you know who else no one's going to play, and he's in a great spot, and he's been awful, like really legitimately awful. Some of it's foul trouble, some of it's been lack of production. PJ Washington.
You know, because I was looking before all the New Orleans news broke about playing something like Cody Zeller. But then whenever they get in these games, like he never closes. Like PJ Washington always closes as the 5.
Yeah. Well, he ended up closing when they were up a bunch the other night.
Yeah.
But mostly you're right. I'll take Graham. And Monk is in, right? Yeah, we got him.
Okay, that's something.
I think he is. Let me double check. I got the message and then I didn't get confirmation. Yeah, it looks like he's in. Will play Thursday. Boy, he's got a You can go nuts here.
Can they tell you if he'll play well? That would be nice.
There's a great pivot. You could play Monk with the other guys because that's, first of all, people aren't going to play that much Monk anyway. But you can just play Monk with Bledsoe and Alexander Walker.
And they're in that stack game, right? The Charlotte. I mean, they're in the Westbrook game, right?
No, Monk is in the against Brooklyn.
Oh, right.
I actually like that a lot. Like, I think there's like some upside for him in that kind of a matchup. One, two, three.
One more.
It does feel just weird to play Ben Simmons at this moment over Jimmy Butler. I mean, no one's gonna play either of them. I don't think that much. But I think they'll play some Butler, I guess.
I don't know about that either.
I don't think so. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I guess Kawhi does make sense, though. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, he always plays with these guys out. He never seems to.
He hasn't been getting there.
I mean, he's been getting there, but not like
really. Not what we would take tonight. You're going to need better than that tonight for sure.
Yeah, that is true.
Let's see, or Oubre.
Just for the hell, let's just leave it at that. I don't know if that's accurate. Leave it at that, and then we'll just run it with these. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
I play Washington. Let's see.
I just really don't want what's his name to be a great play. Let's see.
What about Jeremy Grant?
I mean, he'll be low owned. I mean,
in the perfect matchup, coming off of a 47.
Yeah, you know what? I don't need. I don't think I need Jerome Robinson.
You definitely don't need him.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I really wanted to confirm that I 100% need.
What do they have projected at? Like around 20 fantasy points?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I do think he's better than he's played, for what it's worth, if that means.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Well, you know, he's safe in that he doesn't really screw up all that much. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, foul trouble.
He won't get anybody pissed at him. You know what I mean? To get him off the court, I don't think.
Right.
He only takes good shots. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why he doesn't have such a big ceiling. I mean.
Right. Exactly.
Let me see what it looks like if I ran this now. It looks dramatically different. Let's see. Oh, see, this is the guy who's now popping in these things. Well, not that much. I'm getting some Chandler Hutchinson now.
Yeah, he's the other one that you could consider. Actually,
not that big of a deal, but
yeah, I think I would go the other route personally, but yeah.
Okay, this is fine. I'll keep this as is, I think.
And we've got okay.
Let me look at FanDuel. So as I did, I'm building my lineups with the presumption that that Beal was in, right? The reason why is because if I did it with Beal out, I'm literally going to get 100% Westbrook. And while that might not be the worst thing in the world, I just don't want 100% of a 70%.
I understand.
I just don't want it. On FanDuel, these look at just Marcus Morris a little bit better. Bogdan is good. Let's take a look. Then I'm going to look at some baseball after lock here. We'll check the early ownerships on these Washington dudes when it comes out.
I kind of like this Jeremy Grant idea. I'm like into it now. I love finding ways to actually be different. And I'm going to play PJ Washington and Malik Monk in a couple lineups. That's for sure.
That works.
Yep.
Yeah. You like Rui at all?
On FanDuel, what is his price on FanDuel? I'm guessing over there he's cheaper.
He's 6,000.
Yeah, I do.
Oh man, I could do this.
All right, guys, I'm answering anything else if there's in there.
I am totally doing this.
I'm gonna answer this question real quick. Top 5 ownership exposures on DK for me. I'm not playing. I'm only playing like one main lineup and one other lineup, but it's all the New Orleans guys and Westbrook. Nothing special there. My get creative guys are Jimmy Butler, Bam. Jokic is not creative, but I think that I like playing Jokic. I'm playing a lot of Kira Lewis, and I'm even using some Jerome Robinson.
This is what I'm doing.
And I also like Kennard, especially if Morris is out. And in my big lineup, just to give it away, I'm going to fade. I mean, look, it's not a good fade in general. It's a big enough slate where there are other places you can do things. And if I can get Kira Lewis and James Robinson, which sounds like a high number, but if they can combine for 60, I don't think you're getting 100 out of Bledsoe and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So if they get their 60, Westbrook does his whatever. Everybody's going to own him anyway. But then Jokic also puts up another 60 plus. You're already in business, and then I've still got all my other pieces. I am curious to see who they end up starting in New Orleans. One thing that does worry me about the New Orleans thing a little bit too, also, is that they've got a lot of bodies. That's why guys like Alexander Walker and Bledsoe make sense. And Hart, they're going to play minutes, but especially Alexander Walker, he can create, but so can Kira Lewis. And I think there's a chance it goes that way. And by the way, what the weird part is, they're still favorites in this game, and they could end up even blowing out this Magic team, who has been playing pretty pesky. But I just think that we should be ready for a blowout at any moment. We've got Jason Randall. So I didn't even realize that he was starting, but I don't want him at all. Boy, how is it that nobody can project anywhere and they don't have any players? What a weird situation. Terrence Ross would be the run back, actually, if you're going to try to figure that out, but you're asking for a lot for that price.
I'm going to be under, I think, on what is, I don't know what he's going to be, but I think I'm going to be under on Kyrie on FanDuel.
Yeah. We got a question about Jackson Hayes. I'm not playing him. I get it. And I don't have Hartenstein in my main lineup either, but I don't mind either of them. I'm playing Bam and Jokic just to give it away in my big lineup. So that's where I'm at.
All right. So we'll get some ownerships here in a minute. I played Jeremy Grant on FanDuel in the Monster. So there you go.
I love it. I played Jeremy Grant in my big one too. Oh no, I played him in my second biggest one. Sorry, not my biggest one.
So where's what was I doing? Oh, I was going to look at baseball. Okay. Is there a night slate in for FanDuel also? I presume, right? Let's look at these contests. This is kind of what I want. Look at this. This is a nice little compact big buy-in that are only going to have, like you said, only 70 people in it. A 333 paying $10K for first.
I know. I hate that.
Let me see what the slate looks like. Let's see what I can come up with. We're definitely going to play some of this $4 business. But let's see.
I do have one Hayes lineup, so I'm not going to say I don't like him at all. Just I realize that I'll take a pivot off of Hartenstein.
Are there lineups yet for these later games or no?
The only ones I've got right now, got the early ones. I've got the Hornets lineup.
No. I meant baseball.
Oh, yeah, they're out.
Okay.
That's one good thing about opening day. The baseball guys got their lineups in a little earlier than usual. Felt good. Hopefully it'll be a trend all season.
Now, the guys that got ruled out, what was that all about?
What's that?
The guys that got ruled out in baseball.
Who got ruled out?
I'm not ruled out, but weren't there guys that like weren't playing that we thought were going to play?
The Mets.
Oh no, it wasn't that. It was something.
That was the COVID thing.
Oh, is that why they got ruled? Oh man, I didn't even know.
The original report was COVID, but I don't know for sure what it was. Gallinari is a really good play tonight. So I mean, Trey makes a lot of sense too. Both those guys are good.
Is he?
Question.
It's annoying.
Gallinari is a good play just because he's going to have opportunity, and that guy can always shoot you into a tournament-winning lineup. He can make 10 threes in a game, but if he was going to be really chalky, I wouldn't say go for it. But he'll have like probably 10 to 15% ownership is my guess.
Let's see what these FanDuel lineups are going to look like. Just baseball. So baseball would be, what time would that be? Oh, that would be 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Is that called after hours? Yeah, that's called after hours, right? Okay. So let's just see what this looks like. Let's pull this up.
All right, it's 4. Good luck to everybody. I'm not leaving yet, but I'm just saying good luck.
Let's just see what this is. Oh, these are all our guys. These are all these freaking White Sox that we played all year last year. And Bundy against them. Wow.
How did my baseball lineup have lower score? Bundy against who?
Against the guys that we play. And this is great.
Oh, yeah.
This is an amazing game.
But Bundy, but those guys are going to be owned, and Bundy is like there is a blow upside to him for sure.
Well, sure.
Points. How did I just lose like 7 points in baseball? That's
so you like Olsen? Is that what you're saying?
I like Olsen because I don't think he's going to be owned.
He's a 2K guy at second base. Who's this? Jed Lowry?
Is it?
I don't know.
Is the name Lowry?
Yeah, Lowrie on second base on Oakland.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is Jed Lowry,
and he's starting.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, if you're gonna play value, I like the Trammell thing I mentioned. Evan White is really cheap, and he's got a lot of pop. Gausman. I mean, the other thing, yeah. So I would play the. If I was playing a bunch of lineups, which I'm only playing one because I'm trying to keep. It's the beginning of the season. Let's be real. The White Sox and Mariners would be the other two, and odd part is I'm taking the pitchers against those teams, but I think those are the other two favorites for me.
Gausman
and Bundy, as much as we like them, that's part why we liked them is because they were high variance guys. So we got to remember that on the other side too. Oh, I am in first place in my in the monster. I'm first, third, 18th, and 22nd.
In what now?
In the smaller $44 thing.
Let's go.
It's a couple $1,000, Be nice to get off to, and maybe I could run it.
Maybe I'll play this one. You like San Francisco?
I don't really, and I know it's a small slate, but in general, I don't love picking on Marco Gonzalez.
Oh, I remember that from last year. Right.
Yeah, and he's been pretty good. MLB, yeah. Okay, I'm glad you're not interested, Jim, but we'll break it down. We just did. You must have missed it. But I'll go through my guys real quick.
Oh, what basketball game?
He just asked us to break down the baseball, but that's what we were doing, kind of.
Oh yeah, let's go for it.
So basically, I think my favorite is the Houston stack. Unfortunately, it's going to be popular. You can mix in a Miles Straw. You can mix in a Maldonado at a high price for catcher to get a little different. But I also I like Gausman and Bundy as the way I'm using my pitchers, and I'm playing a lot of Matt Olson at first base and spending up pretty much for all those Astros. But I think that it makes just as much sense to take the other side of those games and play the White Sox and Mariners. The White Sox are going to be really popular. The Mariners will not be really popular. And the Mariners are cheap, so you can do whatever you want. You can play Giolito and Greinke if you want to, and play the Mariners stack with a little bit of White Sox or something. That might be a good way to go.
Wow, the White Sox have Adam Eaton, huh?
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
I didn't
know he was with them before.
It's been his whole career there.
I didn't know that.
He went to Washington, yeah.
Mitch
He was like
Haniger.
that guy.
Albert Pujols still in the league, still doing it. Respect.
Yep. I don't even know how old is Albert Pujols. I'm not Albert Pujols age. Let's see how old he is.
How about this? This would be. Oh, I'm doing this. This is
41 years old. All right. I still think he might be older than that.
Hang on a minute.
So tomorrow, I haven't even looked at the slate for tomorrow yet, but may as well talk.
Why do you not like Chris Bassett? Oh, because you like Houston. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think he's also a little bit overrated. I don't know. He's okay. I think he's a solid pitcher. I don't think he's like this superstar pitcher. And I just don't think you need. I mean, there's other pitchers. Like it's funny because just like today's slate on opening day, these guys mostly.
Oh, I lost you a little bit there. I don't know what happened to you. Did we lose Bobby? Oh no. We didn't lose him. Did you lose me? I don't know. I'm going. I don't know what. I don't know who's here. I don't know who's what. I'm gonna put this in. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see. Paying up for pitching here. Let's see. Paying up for hitting. I mean, if we do all this, we need like a. Yeah, this guy's not bad. Let me see where you are. Did you disappear on me, Bobby? Yeah, Bobby, you disappeared on me. You got booted. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. What else we got here? You got some questions? Okay, so you don't think Giolito and Bundy will have an ace face-off tonight? Yeah, I could. Jim, I'm with you on that. I think that's very possible. I don't think that Bundy's as much of the ace as Giolito is, do you? I mean, I tend to think that Bundy is a little bit I don't know. I think Bundy's a little more speculative than Giolito. I think so. Crawford. Okay, I like that. I like that. I don't know why this is going on like that. Hold on, I'm not doing that. I'll fix that later. Yeah, I do remember that. Bundy's totally had his moments. Let me see something. Yeah, I'll hang up for like a few more minutes, and I'll do a maybe I'll do a projection run of the 10 o'clock games, and then I'll see what it looks like because I want to look at it myself. I got some time. I reserved some lineups, so let me just do. Actually, I don't need to do a dummy lineup yet. Actually, yes, I do. Let me do a dummy lineup quickly over there on DraftKings. Then what I'll do for you guys, I'll do a run, like a projection run, where I'll tell you who. I mean, again, because Bobby's expert, I'll give you my favorite plays based on what I see, and then we'll call it. So what I'm doing again is again, this is going to look a little bit. It's going to look like an empty screen here, but what I'm doing is I'm pulling projections, and then I have like my own little algorithm that kind of aggregates and figures it out, and then we'll see what it looks like. Now, again, these are just going to be median projections, which in baseball is a little bit ridiculous, but okay. So we're going to save all these. We'll do draft. Well, I'll spend a little time. We're going to do DraftKings and FanDuel. Is that late? No, this. I don't want late. FanDuel. We don't want late. We want the after hours, right? The ones that start at 10 o'clock. Again, the unfortunate thing is I can't see the chat while I'm doing this. So you'll have to bear with me. Just give me, well, I'll talk through it, but just give me 5 minutes to do this. Let me poke in real quick to see if there's a question. I mean, if the White Sox hit a home run, they can't allow. Yes, that is true. It is definitely true. And that's what we dealt with the White Sox all last year, right? We played them a lot. We played them a lot, but FanDuel, Maine? No. We played them, but we also played pitchers against them. So you could do, it depends on how many lineups you play, you could do both, right? Okay, hold on. All right, 1 sec. Shouldn't take too long. Hopefully you get something out of this. I mean, I'm still kind of working on. Hold on. DraftKings? Yeah, let's do DraftKings. We'll do DraftKings first. DraftKings. Was it 4 or 5? 5. We need 2. So we need 1 and 2. Sorry about this, guys. Almost there. And then we'll see how much money I'm losing in basketball because of the stupid decisions I made. Let's see. It's DK 1. And then pitchers. Again, it wasn't. I would have been more prepared, but I didn't think that we'd be talking about the late slate. So you'll forgive me if I'm a little unprepared here for this. Okay, so that's good. That's good. That's good. It should be good. Let's see what we got. Let's run something here, and then. Let's see if we can't do this. MLB, what are we doing? Baseball? MLB, DK. Let's see if we did this right. Oops. Okay. And then we'll see what we come up with. All right. So, I mean, again, this is based on whatever. I actually have Gausman as the best pitcher on DraftKings by like a decent amount. And that's reflected in the ownership as well. And then I have Bundy second. So if it were me on DraftKings, I would go with Gausman and Bundy as far as pitchers go. I have this neat little tool also, which again, I'm kind of developing this, but this kind of like rates the different stacks. Like for example, like apparently this White Sox stack, the Fraley, Trammell, Haniger, White, Murphy, looks to be like actually a really good stack. So if you don't want to play Gausman, you could stack these Seattle guys against them, which is I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So what I'll do is I'll play Bundy with like Giolito. and like you said, you want to do the aces, what'd you say, the big dick competition, right? So we'll play. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build this. Well, can't really show you because DraftKings is a pain in the ass, but I can show a little bit, right? So let's do this. So MLB, here. And then what we'll do is we'll do what I said. We're going to play Bundy, Giolito, and then Seattle City. So the guys that I mentioned were, this is going to be fun. It'll be Haniger, Fraley, Trammell. Look at these prices, right? No wonder they're popping like this. And then who's the other guy? White. And then if you want, you could play like Murphy as your catcher, and then you can't even spend the rest. So maybe we don't want to do that. But that's kind of the idea. So I want to play these Mariner guys. So what you could do is you could exchange it for like a just kind of a higher upside guy like Kyle Seager, right? You put him in instead of like a Kyle Murphy or something like that. Or you could put maybe Ty France in. Might be a little bit better at first, second base. So you put him in, and then you instead of say Fraley, then at least you could spend the rest of your salary. So that's something you could do, which is, I think I'm going to go do this. I'm not allowed to show you what I'm doing on the side. So let me, first, before I do this, let me just check the chat. Where are you? Where are you, Chrome? I don't know where. Did I lose you? Did I lose all you guys? There's no way. You got to be in here somewhere. Oh no, there's no way. Did I poof you? That would be extremely annoying if I was basically talking to myself for the last. No, there you are. He says, "Yeah, like, oh, there you are." Okay, thank you. All right, very good. Woo, I thought I lost the browser here. So I have the Jim Beam seal of approval. So now what I want to do is I got to make my one-off. So let me just take a look. See who I like as my one-offs over here. This is the best way to do this without really pissing off the DraftKings people too much. So we don't want to play anybody from the White Sox or the Angels, right? Because they're against us. We got to play the Astros. Okay, so we like the Astros guys, right? So the catcher from the Astros, for example, or we could play the San Francisco, right? So who's the best catcher? Collins, wrong team. You can play Murphy if you want. Maybe I'll do that. But if we put in Maldonado and then right, so let me just see. So who do we like then? We like, if we're doing it this way, we could just stack my fantasy points, right? So let's just do it that way. So we don't want to play Trout, obviously, but we definitely want to play Alvarez. So let's put him in, for example. And then Correa. So let's do that. Let's put I'd like to put a good looking San Francisco guy in, but so Bregman's at third base. You could play him there. What's Seager? He's exactly third, right? Okay. Maybe that's what I have to do though. No, I don't want to do that. You can play Yaz instead of Trammell if you want, and then if you play Yaz instead of Trammell. Then you go and you could play the catcher as part of your stack if you want. Or you could just play Posey. Let's stick with what we were doing. Now this actually works. And what's cool about this is, guys, we're leaving like over 1,000 on the table, which is what we like. Let's put it into this thing also. We're going to submit this. And I think we're good. This is going to be the big, what do you call it? The big dick special? The Jim Beam. We're going to call this the Jim Beam. We're going to call this the Jim Beam special. And that's about it. I'm going to go eat. But you know, before I do that, you want to check some ownerships real quick? May as well. Actually, you know what? I'm not done yet. You guys are still here, so I'll hang around. I am going to do that. I'm going to put in my FanDuel lineups also for that as well. As long as I'm here. I did do something, but for whatever reason, I'm moving like $1 billion on the table in these things. So I just want to make sure. See these? Like, look at these lineups I have in right now. I'm leaving 5,500 on the table. I just don't think that's optimal. So we're gonna look at these a little bit again. We're gonna run these one more time. So where was I? Okay. So once again, while you guys peruse over this, I'm gonna just do the same thing I was doing before. I'm gonna download my projections. Same thing as before. FanDuel. FanDuel 5, right. Okay. And then we'll go, where was I? Oh, yeah, go over here. Oops. Screw you guys. Wonder how many points Westbrook has. I don't want to look. I just don't want to look at all. I'll look, you know what I'll do? I'm going to get a quick, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a quick sweat check after I do this FanDuel thing, and then we will call it. But I definitely want to get a sweat check here. I don't know where Bobby is. Let's see. Probably texted me a bunch of times, but I don't have my phone with me, which is like a little annoying. Okay. And we'll do this. Yeah, leaving 5,500 on the table is definitely not. It's not very wise. Or not late. I want after hours. I keep doing that. I think I might have done this already, but let me just do it one more time. I think I did this. Well, let's do it again. Yeah, that's good, actually. I just need to go the hitters. Sorry. I mean the pitchers. FanDuel 2. Oh, and then this one. FanDuel 3. FanDuel 3. FanDuel after hours. Then you're going to be suffering with me for another 5 minutes, I think. Maybe 10. Let's see. I mean, normally, Mrs. Sheets is around and has called me and waved me to dinner at this point. But she's out, so I have a little more time to tweak here. So let's see what we can come up with FanDuel. I think I might have messed it up, but we'll see. We'll find out in a second. If this is populated, then we're good. If it's got only a few people, then it's not good. Oh, excellent. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to load this into SaberSim and see what it pops in and see if we're at least close. So I really don't want to play these 5,500 money on the table line, so I don't have to. Okay. I can show you this. Let's see. Excuse me. So we're going to run these given the projections that I've created. And let's see what kind of upside lineups the SaberSim algorithm can provide. And then we're going to just do kind of a sanity check to see if something I want to do. And then we'll get one sweat of basketball, one sweat of baseball, and then we'll be off to the races. Mark Gonzalez, I don't want to play Mark Gonzalez. So immediately we're going to get rid of that. I will play a little bit of Bassett, though. So let's just see what these things look like. Stack types, yeah, they're mostly 4-3-4-2s. But what are all this money left on the table? What is this crap? 2,700, 2,800, 2,800, 30,400. I don't get it. So we're gonna have to change something. We have to do a new build, and I can't. Oh, wait a minute. So, duh. What is the salary? What's going on here? I'm like lost my mind. What's the salary for FanDuel? Hold on, is it 35,000? Let me see something. It's 60,000. No, hold on. I've literally lost my mind. I hope you guys, appreciate like how young you are. After hours. I know you're probably all chiming it in the chat. You're like, I know it's 5,000, it's 50,000, it's 35,000. Cheats, what are you doing? Look at the chat, idiot. Can't you just see what I'm typing in here? If you saw my lineups look like, so it is 35,000. All right, so we're gonna do this. We're not gonna play this 33,000, these 30. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't want me to do it. That's so funny. Yeah, I gotta. We'll leave some on the table, but this is what she was before. I think. We could leave 3,000 on the table. It's a small slate. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. Good grief! No wonder all that stuff looked so fishy. I don't know what's going on here. My Saber Sim is definitely fishing out on me here. Maybe I'll just keep my other ones. Yes, I'm not leaving 7,000 on the table, whatever that is. Oh, I know what it is. Probably because of the stacks. Interesting. Very interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into manual mode. We're going to go a little less correlation, a little less of this, a little more of this, and then okay, let's see what this does anything different. And I could do these manually. I'm just now more curious about what Saber Sim is doing, and then we're gonna do the sweat. Then we're gonna sweat the baseball, sweat basketball. We're gonna go, but I do want to deal with these lineups now. So Mrs. Sheets comes home and I don't have to worry about it. All right, this looks a little bit better. I'm gonna stick to the ones that I had before as far as my big one goes. Then I'm gonna replace these with the I'll put these instead of the ones I had in FanDuel in the first place. Where is FanDuel? FanDuel over here. And then we're gonna get a sweat. Then we're gonna go. Coming. Up and coming. We're gonna CSV edit. Go into download. And this isn't for like another, 3 hours. So I do have the right to go change this stuff, but that's no fun. Let's see. That's good. And we'll put 2 dupes in here just so we know what they are. Let's do this. And I just want to make sure. So I just want to make sure that monster is not one of the ones with the 5,000 left on the table. And then we're going to sweat. All right. This is still 3,100. 3,100 is fine. I can live with that. And this is 2,300. I can live with that too. All right, so let's see what's going on in my in the sweats here. Oh, this is good. Oh, because I'm in 12th in the monster in the golf. Okay, so that's good. But baseball is probably very fishy. All right, let's go to baseball first. Oh, that was the NBA. Oh, because I have Westbrook. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this for a second. Westbrook is off to a slow start. He's only got 3 points. Look at that. Simmons off to a decent start. Hachimura's okay. Jeremy Grant's just okay. Oh, so Westbrook is maybe not a total lock. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at my baseball. This is from the earlier slate and see how we're doing here. This doesn't look very promising. I will say that. I don't know, a couple outliers here threatening to get somewhere. What is this? 182 points with this much left. Got some innings left here, a little bit. KC, a couple more. All right, that could be something. Now let me look at DraftKings. I'll check the chat. Let's look at the baseball, because the baseball is a freaking horror show. Once again, the golf's doing well. And the baseball, as advertised, is a shit show. Wow. That is not good. Only 3 or 4 lineups even cashing out of like 20. That is not a good start to the baseball season. But the good news is maybe we get there with the James Dean special, right? Not the James Dean. What was it? The Jim Beam. Maybe we get it with the Jim Beam special. All right, let's take a look here. Where's Bobby? Bobby was here, and then he like kind of disagrees. Timothy, the NBA gross. Then we have a big. Yeah, you're right. We have. Oh, you want to tell us the ownerships tonight for the MLB? You mean mine or what I have for the industry? That I can look up. Hold on. Yeah, so this is the average. This is the average ownership right here of all of these guys. And what I can do, and this is FanDuel actually, and what I can do eventually, what I'm going to do when we launch the site, is I'm going to put this stuff up there for you guys, for you to kind of peruse. But let me just see. Let me get DraftKings too, so you guys can see it. MLB. Oh, this is DK. Oh, so DK. So this is DK. This would be the ownerships here, but let me show you so that we can sort it a little bit better. Yeah, so here ranking by ownerships on the later card, it looks like Greinke is the highest owned pitcher. Him and all of them are really popular, right? Because it's only a 3-game slate, and it looks like these top 4 are getting the majority of it, but it's being spread out a little bit. And with respect to other guys, it looks as though Tim Anderson. It looks like the Astros, I guess, are the most popular. That makes sense. So, anything else? I guess that's it. I mean, I've, I don't even know what I'm rooting for. Like I said, it's kind of a shitty night. NBA does look gross. Probably shouldn't have played, but we all have our weaknesses. Yeah, thanks, Timmy. Good luck, Timmy. Sorry, Timothy, whatever you want to. I know you well enough to call you Timmy. But, good luck, guys. Hope you do well. Hope somebody does well, and